Hey everybody, welcome back to the kitchen. Today we're doing something a little different, I guess. It's going to be the simplest thing we've ever done. And I know y'all are like, oh, here she goes again. But truly this one is. But I want to kind of talk to you a little bit about side dishes. If one thing I've always struggled with when I've always done my meals at home and even in my restaurant is I'll have my entrees planned out. That's easy. It's the side dishes. What am I going to put with it? You know, trying to keep variety, balance, stay seasonal. That's a big thing. Stay seasonal. Don't be serving zucchini in January. No zucchini is growing around here in January. But in the summer, enjoy the heck out of it. Same thing with like your root vegetables, rutabaga and I can't even think. Rutabagas, squashes, that kind of thing. Those are not summer vegetables. Butternut squash, spaghetti squash, kaboka squash, all that. Those types of things are winter vegetables. So try to stay seasonal, but I'll get off my high horse. That's not the point of today's video. Today we're making yellow rice. This will be the simplest recipe we've done to date. Literally. It is cooking some rice and during the rest period, which we'll talk about in a minute, mixing in a seasoning blend. And that's it. But it will take just basic rice and kick it up a notch. And then you can do a few other things if you want to get really foo-foo with it. But when I've always done my menu planning, both at home and as well as at my restaurant, I keep, for the restaurant, what I call a three-month rolling schedule. So I literally have a Word document that looks like 3 calendar months, and I have my entrees planned out. So each week when it's time to do the next week's menu, I just look at what am I serving next week, make sure I have the ingredients for the entrees, and then plug my sides in. If you do something like that at home, whether it's, you know, a month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever works for you, it makes life so much easier. As I've talked to so many women, young women, middle-aged women, older women, they always struggle with the planning stage. If you can't master the planning stage, you are going to continually struggle to have a good, solid dinner on the table without a lot of stress. Because if you can't plan, or if you don't plan, I don't say can't, everybody can. If you don't plan, then you won't have the ingredients you need. You're struggling, what am I going to cook? Oh my gosh, I don't know. You know, it just makes it so hard. So I would challenge you to sit down, just make a brain dump list of every dish that you cook that your family enjoys. They love spaghetti, they love stew, they love pork chops, they love beef roast, they love pork roast, they love cutlets, they love smothered steak, they love chicken, king ranch chicken, spaghetti chicken, whatever. Brain dump it all. And then get a calendar, and it doesn't have to be like for the specific month, you're just talking weeks, and start plugging them in where you have variety. I'm going to have chicken, then I'm going to have beef, then I'm going to have pork, then I'm going to have shrimp or fish. Chicken, beef, pork, shrimp. And just spread them all out so you have a lot of variety. You know, sprinkle casseroles in there. It doesn't always have to be just an entree with sides. Then use that to do your weekly planning as an ongoing tool. And then it's no more struggling with, oh, I don't know what to cook. I've cooked all this stuff over and over. Well, if you have a rolling calendar, a month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever works for you, it feels more fresh all the time. So I'm going to quit because that was not the point of this video. But when I got to thinking about what I was going to do for this week's video, I thought I hadn't done a side in a while. Sides were always kind of an area for me that was like, you know, I'll do string beans, I'll do broccoli, I'll do peas, I'll do a salad, you know, over and over and over. To have some variety in there is fantastic. So that's what we're talking about. So yellow rice, what does that mean? I've done it with the base is brown rice. Today I'm going to use some organic basmati rice. I really like basmati rice. It's just a different texture, a little bit different flavor. I cook primarily only brown rice at the restaurant. But for this dish, like I mentioned, you put together a seasoning blend. Nothing difficult about it. If you try this dish and you really like it, then take a few minutes, put together a bunch of these little seasoning blends, Keep them in little containers. Get you some little sample cups or small deli cups. Pop them in your cabinet. And then when you're making supper, it's cook the rice, stir the seasonings, boom, I'm done. That's all there is to it, which makes it so simple. You can kick it up a notch. And when you get to that stage of the rest, again, we'll talk about that in a minute, add in some vegetables. Steam some peas or some broccoli or some carrots, or throw a little spinach in there. It doesn't take much to just add a little variety. So you can have yellow broccoli rice, yellow spinach rice, yellow peas, whatever. Add some variety to it. Super simple, super nutritious, very tasty. At some point the next month or so, I'm going to be doing a dish called adobo chicken, which is amazing. It's a Filipino dish. Amazing. And it goes really, really well with this yellow rice. I like the yellow rice with pork carnitas, or an herbed pork roast. Really good there. But again, it can go with anything. It's awesome. So when you're planning your meal, you have your meat, you have a green veggie, you have a carbohydrate, whether it's corn, pasta, spinach, what am I saying? Rice, potatoes. That's kind of your basics. Just work in that frame and you'll be good. So let's talk a little bit about cooking rice. Brown rice, 1 cup of rice to 2 cups of water. The way I've always done it works very well. 2 cups of water in a pot, bring it to a boil. Add your rice, stir it, turn it down to a very low simmer, put a lid on it, set a timer for 20 minutes, don't touch it. At the end of 20 minutes, turn your heat off, leave the lid on, and let it rest for 5 minutes. And that final rest, it absorbs that final bit of water, and it's nice and fluffy, not fluffy, fluffy. Basmati rice is a little different. Different rices can be cooked a little differently. So with basmati, I've got 1.5 cups of water. I have 1 cup of my rice. I'm going to add it first, bring it to a boil, turn it down, lid, cook it for 10 minutes, turn it off, and that's the rest period for 5 minutes. I've always done a 5-minute rest period no matter what kind of rice I cook. So in that rest period is when we're going to add our seasoning blend. So I'm going to turn the camera down. We'll put together the seasoning blend, which your kindergartner or toddler could put together. Super easy, super easy. So 1 second. Okay, so my rice is started. It's going to take 10 minutes. What we've got is garlic powder, cumin, turmeric, oregano, onion powder, salt, and pepper. Again, the simplest thing in the world. So it's 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. And since I have real seasonings that are 100% spices, herbs and spices with no additives, I don't have anti-caking agents in mine, so they might get a little cakey, and that's not a problem. So it's 2 teaspoons of garlic, 1 teaspoon of cumin, 1 teaspoon of turmeric. And y'all, I'm sure, have heard and read some of the health benefits of turmeric and how good it is for you. A teaspoon of oregano. Then we move to a 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, salt, and pepper. And that's all there is to it. So you put all that together. I just mix it in a little bowl. Get all the onion powder out of that. I want to get that down in my salt and then put my salt in something else that onion powder wouldn't be good with. 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. Then I take a little fork, which I don't have. I'll grab one, mix this really well. When my rice is finished cooking, my 10 minutes is up, and it's time for the rest, I stir the spices in real good, put the lid on, let it sit for 5 minutes, and it's done. And it is tasty. So very tasty. You can use this as a base with like what would be a ramen noodle bowl, but instead of noodles, put your yellow rice underneath. Add some chicken stock, throw some veggies in there, and some different kinds of some ramen meat that you've cooked. I mean, there's so many ways to use this yellow rice as a fantastic foundation, or just use it as it is. Super tasty. So once the rice is finished, I'll be right back and I'll show y'all mixing it up, and then that's it. Okay, so the timer just went off. So there's my pot, took it off the stove, starting its rest. And, you know, I wanted y'all to see, because I don't have anti-caking agents in the herbs and spices I buy, I get little lumps. It's no big deal. They break up when I cook. I don't worry about it. But at least I know I'm 100% spices and herbs in there. Okay, so we're going to take the lid off. We're just going to sprinkle this in. And then you're just going to stir it up real good. And your rice is going to turn yellow from all the fantastic spices you're putting in here. And it tastes so, oh, it smells good. Whoops, paper's falling. It tastes super, super good. And actually, my rice stuck just a teeny bit. So what I'll do is add like a couple tablespoons of water just to loosen up what's stuck on the bottom. It didn't burn, it just stuck a little. And then we are good to go. You always, always want to let your rice rest for 5 minutes. That last little bit of steaming and keeping the heat in and adding some steam just makes it fluffy and really nice. So there we go. Nice yellow rice. So I'm going to stick the lid on, set my timer for 5 minutes, and then that side dish is ready to go. But again, see if I can flip this up without tearing something up. You could add some other vegetables to that and just take it up another level. And it would be an amazing side to all kinds of things you could cook. So give it a shot. This is an easy one, but it's a good basic skill. Have a basic rice recipe and doctor it up to do different things. So anywho, y'all give it a shot. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you here on the next video.